McGarry, and today you'll meet teams from Rockville, Georgetown Day, and W.T. Woodson in the Washington Championship of It's Academic. It's Academic. Brought to you by Giant Food. Giant, the quality food people. Quality you can count on, value you can trust from the people who care. And by the Pants Corral. The Pants Corral for all your fashion needs, featuring Levi's for guys, gals, and kids. All right, good morning, everybody. And thank you very much, and welcome to the most important match of our season. These are the three surviving finalists of the 81 teams which began last September. Look who's here. Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, fellas. You deserve it. We all do for our extra work as fathers. Now, let's meet the three teams, each of which has already won 3 games to get to this Washington Championship position. Team number 1 is Rockville High School, Montgomery County, Maryland. We have Maryland, Virginia, and D.C. represented today. First for Rockville, here's Mark Entrata. Mark?
Hi, I'm a 16-year-old senior. I look forward to attending Harvard University in the fall. On behalf of our team, I'd like to thank Northwood coach Alice East, Eleanor Roosevelt coach Jerry Greenbaum, and our alternate David Kirkhoff.
You all scrimmage among yourselves. That's good. That's a way to win. Practice. Now here's Linda Lou, the captain, who was a finalist on last year's team. Linda?
Hi, I'm a 17-year-old senior. I'll be attending Princeton University this fall. First, I'd like to thank our coach, Mr. Kevin Keegan, for his time and encouragement, his wife for her added support, and the 277 people who have generously pledged a penny for each point that we score in today's game.
That raises thousands of dollars over the year, doesn't it, Linda?
Right. So far, we've raised $3,000.
Wonderful format. And you've switched from Harvard, I noticed, to Princeton. Now you're going to Princeton. Well, it's wonderful to be able to have those options. Congratulations. Here's Joseph Sue. Joseph?
Hi. I'm a 17-year-old senior. I'm looking forward to attending Duke University in the fall. I'd like to thank Giant Food for generously donating scholarship money and for sponsoring It's Academic. And I'd also like to thank the band, Palms, and everyone else who came out to support us today.
Very nice of you, Joseph. And we do have here members of the Rockville Band. Bob Sickles directing. Stand up and take a bow. Bob? All right. Thank you very much. All right, let's see how Rockville does in the first round. Each correct answer is worth 20. Here's the anagram question. My Red Ranger. Your ranger will be very proud if you can unscramble this. To form what word describing the process of changing or redrawing a voting district in order to favor one political party?
Gerrymander. Gerrymander.
That's right. Now, choice. You would be writing to the chief executive of which of these states if your letter were addressed to Governor Richard Celeste?
Ohio.
That's right. Spelling. This is the way 3 words with a silent letter B were recently spelled in a national spelling bee. Which is the misspelled word that put the contestant down?
Third one.
That's right. It should be A-C-O-M-B. Now, a 2-parter, each worth 20. These sonorous titles were informally given to what 2 Democratic Party nominees who lost presidential elections in the 19th century? The boy orator was defeated by McKinley. The sage lost to Rutherford B. Hayes.
Bryan and Tilden. Bryan and Tilden.
That's right. William Jennings Bryan, Samuel Tilden. Single answer. To complete titles of a play by John Synge and a novel by Victor Hugo, you need to add here what same word that identifies a body of water?
C.
That's right. Here's the quotation. I have gazed on the face of Agamemnon after he had excavated the royal tombs at Mycenae in Greece. This announcement was made by what German-born archaeologist who had earlier found the site of ancient Troy?
Schliemann.
Heinrich Schliemann is right. So a perfect 140 for Rockville after their part of the round. All right, another great team. Here is Georgetown Day. Georgetown Day, MacArthur Boulevard, Northwest. First for Georgetown Day, John Plotz. John.
Thank you. I'd just like to thank him again. Did it on every show, and I think he deserves it, our sponsor, Gary Nicolai.
All right, thank you very much, John. The captain is Roberta Feldman.
Hi, I'd like to thank our alternate, Richard Lucas, for all he's done for us, which is a lot.
All right, Roberta, and anchorman is David Franklin.
Hi, I'm a 16-year-old sophomore at Georgetown Day, and I'll be attending Georgetown Day in the fall. In light of today's tremendous turnout, I'd just like to thank each and every one of our Georgetown Day fans today.
All right. Take a look at your screens now. Here's number 1. Here's your anagram question. Wrong dupe. You won't be wrong or duped if you rearrange this to name what 1605 plot by Guy Fawkes and others to blow up Parliament.
Gunpowder.
Gunpowder. Now, choice. You would be writing to the chief executive of which of these states if your letter were addressed to Governor James Thompson?
Texas?
No, I'm sorry, Illinois, the answer. No points there. Now, spelling. Should these 3 beasts of burden see their names printed as they appear here? Which animal would complain that he bore the extra burden of having his name misspelled?
Llama.
That's right, double L there. Two-parter, each worth 20. Napoleon Bonaparte never knew his name would be applied to two famous Americans. Who were these men? One a Tennessee statesman who became our 11th president, the other a Union Army general who ran for president in 1864 but lost to Lincoln.
Jackson McClellan.
Say it again now. I can't. I couldn't hear you.
McClellan is the second one.
and
Jackson. No, I'm sorry, Polk and McClellan, so 20 out of 40. Now, single answer. Missing from these quotations from Hamlet and Macbeth is what one word that is sometimes used.
Foul.
Foul is right now. I am absolutely undone. No, the Guess Who didn't say that. Displaying a stiff upper lip, what Anglo-Irish dramatist who wrote the Rivals, in the School for Scandal, Sheridan is right. So Georgetown Day 100 after it's part of the round. 100. Championship round continues with our representative from Virginia. Here is W.T. Woodson High, another three-time winner, Woodson from Fairfax, Virginia. Here's Tom Pirelli. Tom?
I'm an 18-year-old senior at Woodson. I'd like to thank my mother, and I'd also like to thank our alternates, Harold Anderson, Theodore Wu, and Nick Eckert.
All right, Tom, nicely spoken. Here is Victor Barocas. Victor.
Hi, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Mrs. Carmichael, and wish my dad a happy Father's Day.
All right. Hey, how about that? Here's Tony Dobransky, the anchorman. Tony?
I'd like to thank my parents, too, and the band and the cheerleaders for coming out and supporting us.
All right,
today.
Tony. And in the audience, Steve Polk and members of the Woodson Symphonic Band. Take a bow now, Steve. And ladies and gentlemen, all right. Here we go for your anagram question, Woodson. Tie in top. In order to tie in this phrase with the Constitution, you rearrange the letters to name what specific right guaranteed by the First Amendment, along with the rights of free speech, religion, press, and peaceable assembly.
Petition.
Petition is right. Now, choice. You would be writing to the chief executive of which of these states if your letter were addressed to Governor George Deukmejian?
California.
That's right. Spelling which of these three words is the only one properly made plural by adding just a single letter S?
Second one.
That's right, roofs. Now, two-parter. Today, tourists are welcomed at these two former presidential homes, the residences of what 15th president and what 26th U.S. chief executive? What do you say?
Buchanan and Roosevelt.
Which Roosevelt?
Theodore.
That's right, you got it. Now, single answer. What same word needs to be placed in these spaces to complete the titles of literary works by Rachel Carson and Jacques Cousteau?
Undersea.
No, I'm sorry, silent is the word we need. No points there. Here's the quotation. It is a hard matter to argue with the stomach. This statement on the force of hunger was made by what ancient writer whose book of parallel lives compared leaders of Greece and Rome?
Plutarch.
That's right. The end of round number one. There it is. All right, a reminder that each year on its academic giant, Food awards more than 100 scholarships to help deserving students continue their educations. At the end of our championship show today, our guest from Giant, Mr. Jerry Donovan, Vice President for Personnel, will present awards to our three schools. We're grateful to Jerry for taking time to be here with us. Now, usually these grants total $500 for a first-round game. For each of the playoff games, the Giant Food Scholarship money comes to $1,000. On our semifinal matches, the schools appearing were awarded a total of $1,500. And today, on the Washington Area Championship match, Giant Food provides $2,000 for scholarship purposes. The winning team school will receive $1,000. The other finalist schools each will be awarded $500. These funds are used by the high schools to help worthy students continue their educations, and we get letters, believe me, from those who have benefited from this scholarship program. In addition to the scholarship funds, Mr. Donovan will also present our three teams with these beautiful plaques, so stay tuned for that at the end of the game. Now, here's the score before we get into the next round. The team from Rockville has the lead at 140, Georgetown Day at 100, Woodson in second at 120. Nice going. Before we get into this round, I want you to test the lights. The captain from Rockville, Linda, please test your light there, please. Roberta on Georgetown Day and Victor on Woodson. Okay, now, in this round, each question answered correctly is worth 10 points. However, 10 points are deducted for a wrong answer. I acknowledge the team whose light stays on as I look up from asking the question, and let me remind you, as soon as I have acknowledged you, you must release your indicator so the other teams have a chance. Here's number one. This 17th century map includes what might be the earliest representation of what continent, whose first British settlement was a prison colony near, all right, Rockville.
Australia.
Australia, near Botany Bay is right. The cavalry rides to the rescue in this painting by Mort Kunstler at the Little Bighorn. Custer's Cavalry Regiment was designated Rockville.
H7. 7.
That's right, yes. This Greek temple overlooking the Mediterranean looks peaceful now, but it had an altar dedicated to what, Woodson?
Aries.
Aries is right. Now, choice, how many points of intersection are there, Woodson?
1.
1 is the right answer, yes. This painting of the Bower Maidens is the work of what 19th century English artist and poet of Italian descent, whose own first name was Dante. Rockville.
Rossetti.
That's right. Now, which of the expressions on the monitor is an example of an acid? All right, Rockville.
2.
That's right, the middle one. Now, this great bell tower stands in the Italian city of Siena. Until it was conquered in 1270, Siena was a stronghold of what medieval political faction that was opposed by the Guelphs? Rockville.
Ghibellines.
That's right. Choice. This is the pearl of Asia, the largest gem ever produced by an oyster. Pearls are weighed according to what small unit of measurement, Woodson?
Carat.
No, grains. I'm sorry, 10 points down. During the Wars of the Roses, this splendid castle was home to what English earl? All right, the Earl of Warwick was the answer. The end of the visual round. All right, once again, we get into the direct competition. This is 10 up for a right answer, but now 20 points deducted for a wrong answer. I emphasize the rules again. The team whose light stays on has a chance to answer. Once you have given me an answer, you must release your light so the other teams have a chance. Every war must have an end, and this is often arrived at by treaty. We will list some conflicts. Please name the treaty or peace accords that ended, or at least interrupted, these wars. Each treaty date is specified. Here is number 1. There it is. All right, Woodson.
Westphalia.
Westphalia is right, Woodson. Now, here is the next one, Woodson.
Canton.
Portsmouth, 20 points down. Here is the third one, Rockville.
Versailles.
Versailles is correct. The fourth one, Rockville.
Guadalupe Hidalgo.
That's exactly right. And here's number 5, Rockville.
Treaty of Paris.
Exactly right. How about the Opium Wars, Woodson? I'm sorry, the Treaty of Nanking, 20 down. Now, how the War of 1812, Rockville?
Treaty of Ghent.
Ghent is right, exactly. Now, the Spanish succession, Woodson.
Utrecht.
Utrecht is right, yes. The Accords, Rockville.
Paris.
On Camp David Accords, 20 down. And the Franco-Prussian War, Woodson. Treaty of
Paris.
Frankfurt, 20 down. The war between Napoleon and Georgetown Day. The answer is Tilsit, 20 down. And the 100 Years' War, Woodson.
Troyes.
Troyes is right. The end of the category round. To the band and to the cheerleaders, and now it's my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Jerry Donovan, Vice President Personnel at Giant Food. Jerry, very glad to see you again, and usually when you're here with us on the championship games, obviously we ask you about the job situation at Giant, and you tell me you have a different story this year.
I do, I'm happy to say. We've seen a change this year, and we're finding more and more young people coming into our business.
And you have opportunities for them. Why has the situation changed?
Well,
Jerry?
thankfully, business is good. But there's been some changes in addition to that. You might note that when you go into the store now, you're going to find a salad bar in most of our stores.
Yeah.
You're also going to see in some of the newer stores a new operation we call bulk food. All of these operations have increased the number of jobs that we have available.
Well, for instance, in bulk food, why would you need more people for that? What do they do, the new people?
The new people, it's imperative that we keep that merchandise clean, that we keep it sanitary. You're helping yourself to merchandise. It must be absolutely impeccable.
And you keep an eye on it. You monitor it.
You monitor it all the time.
All right. Well, Jerry, if young people are interested in jobs in Giant Food, what would they do?
They would apply at our employment offices, which are located around the Beltway, Annandale, Rockville, Lanham, and Landover. And the addresses and phone numbers are listed in the telephone book.
And you could make a point about the jobs that people don't see, which are available in this business, at your headquarters in Landover.
Absolutely. There's many, many jobs. They run from A to Z. located behind the scenes at Landover. And most of the people that work out there, or many of them anyway, started in the stores, just like I did.
As you did, and many of the executives at Giant. Jerry, what a pleasure to see you as always, and to hear that good news about the opportunities at Giant Food. Mr. Jerry Donovan, Vice President Personnel at Giant Food. What a group. Championship time. A regular Harry James, a Ziggy Ullman up in the audience. Welcome back. At this time, we have the pleasure of introducing the faculty, coaches, and the principals who are here, and give you the score in our championship round. The team from Rockville has the lead now. They have 2-10. We're happy to welcome the principal of Rockville, Mr. Raymond DeBalzo, and the faculty coach, Mr. Kevin Keegan. Thank you both very much for being with us. And the team from Georgetown Day has a score of 80 now. Welcome the principal of the high school, Mr. Frank Lenig, the director of the school, Mrs. Gladys Stern, and the faculty advisor, Mr. Gary Nicolai. Thank you all for being with us today. And the team from W.T. Woodson in Fairfax, Virginia, has second place now. They have 100. Their faculty advisor, Mrs. Rebecca Carmichael. Thank you, Mrs. Carmichael, for being with us today. Well, as we move along in this big championship game, in the next round, each question answered correctly is worth 20 points. However, 20 points are deducted for a wrong answer and 10 for a passed question. At the end of the round, the passed questions are available to the other teams for possible points. Rockville's turn, so Georgetown Day select. Roberta, which of these up here now?
3.
All right, let's see where it takes Rockville in this round. Fiorella LaGuardia was known as the Little Flower. But what prickly desert plant preceded the word Jack? Right, Cactus Jack Garner. Under the Articles of Confederation, what Congress, whose name suggests a large land, Continental Congress? Choice, if a girl named Sybil took her mythological name literally, would she expect that she would turn men into swine, predict the future?
The second one.
That's right, predict the future. On the monitor, what is the x-intercept for the equation? Have it or you pass?
Negative 1/2.
Negative 1/2 is right. The adjective classical often refers to the cultures of Greece and Rome. But in what field of study are the so-called classical theorists, such men as David Ricardo and Adam Smith?
Economics.
That's right. Choice, in the eye, which visual receptors are used primarily for night vision? Rods? Cones? Rods is right. Now listen to the music. Here it is. Jazz version of Pretty Little Angel Eyes. The vibraphone is played by what jazz band leader who didn't need a nickname because he had the distinctive first name Lionel?
Hampton.
Lionel Hampton is right. The yard of a house measures 40 feet by 110 feet. How many running feet of fence are needed to enclose it?
300.
That's right. The legend of the merry outlaw Robin Hood is reenacted by Locksley in what well-known Sir Walter Scott novel?
Ivanhoe.
That's right. His plan to stop the Confederates at Pipe Creek proved a pipe dream when what then Union commander, more to that, there's more to that. Letting it go? All right, that was General George Meade, but Rockville has 390 after its part of the round. 390. All right. Here is the turn for Georgetown Day in Northwest. Woodson select Victor, which of these? All right, here you go, Georgetown Day. Let's see what happens here for you in this round. In fairy tales, you can read about a princess and what small vegetable. P is right, Gregor Mendel. The Earth revolves around the sun, but what other R initial word describes the turning of a planet on its axis?
Revolution.
No, rotation, I'm sorry, rotation on its axis, 20 down. Our space shuttles are often launched in Florida, but from what Midwestern state did Mark Twain's Huckleberry Finn launch his famous raft?
Missouri.
Missouri is right. Now, on the monitor, according to the equality shown, what must be the numerical value for tangent x?
1.
1 is right. Choice. In 1952, the Supreme Court overruled the decision of Plessy versus Ferguson. Had that earlier decision upheld segregation in schools, railroad stations, or buses?
Segregation.
Where?
Segregation.
Yeah, but where?
Schools.
All right, that's right. Now, choice. During the development of an embryo, a cavity develops in the center of the egg. At this stage, is the embryo called a zygote, a blastula, or a cleaving?
A blastula.
That's right. Listen to the music. Here it is.
Your mother for you.
1920s recording of Goodnight Irene, performed by its composer. What legendary blues singer whose nickname suggests he had a stomach full of heavy metal? Who was that?
Leadbelly.
That's right, Leadbelly, Huddy Ledbetter. If the length of one side of a triangle is 19 inches, What is the length of the line segment joining the midpoints of the other two sides?
9 1/2.
That's right. Benet wrote The Devil and Daniel Webster, but an earlier story is not enough there. You want to take a chance?
The Jumping Frog of Palour's County.
No, Tom Walker, The Devil and Tom Walker, 20 down. So Georgetown Day 180 after it's part of the round. 180. Now it's a turn for W.T. Woodson at Fairfax, Virginia. Rockville, 2 or 4. Linda, which one?
4, please.
4. All right, let's see how Tom, Victor, and Tony do now. There was a political party nicknamed Bull Moose, but what other animal finds himself in the nickname of the American showman and cowboy William Cody?
Buffalo.
Buffalo Bill. The French expression vis-a-vis comes from the word for face, but the expression tete-a-tete refers to the head, is right. If South American countries use the first and last letters of their names as official abbreviations, what oil-rich country would share its abbreviation with Virginia?
Venezuela.
That's right. On the monitor, the equation has 2 roots, one of which is 0. What's the second?
-3.
That's right. Chicago's poetry magazine paid only $6 for the rights to what Joyce Kilmer verse about woody perennials.
Trees.
That's right. Choice. Dorothy reached the land of Oz on a cyclone, but a cyclotron carried which of the following to scientific prominence? Ernest Lawrence, Ernest Rutherford, Albert Einstein.
Lawrence.
That's right. Listen to the music. Here it is. This is a record way back in 1955. We hear what blind blues singer and pianist from Georgia, who still performs at jazz
Charles.
festival. Ray Charles is right. In a right triangle, one of the acute angles is 60 degrees. The shorter leg is 4 inches. What is the length of the hypotenuse?
8.
8 is right. Now, in John Bunyan's book, Pilgrim's Progress, what character shares her name with the quality Portia said is not strained, but
Mercy.
dropped? Mercy is right. Although later exiled for his Republican writings, novelist Victor Hugo did accept the title of nobility from what French monarch who was called the Citizen King?
Louis Napoleon. Louis Napoleon.
Louis Philippe. I'm sorry, 20 down. The end of round number 3. There it is. All right. Nice work. Give him some applause. All right, let's see what's happened in that round. The score at the end of round number 3. Rockville the lead with 390. Georgetown Day 180. W.T. Woodson has second at 260. Very nice work. All right. Championship round. Now, the winner goes on to the Super Bowl. Grab bag free for all. 20 up for a right answer, 20 off for a wrong answer. Aristotle's priorities were revealed in his statement that Plato is dear to me, but dearer still is what ideal that witnesses in court are sworn to tell. Woodson.
Truth.
Truth is right. What solid geometric figure appears in the 3-word phrase Rockville?
Spears.
Spheres of influence is right. One creature who does not have to worry about the school prayer debate is what insect that can't help himself?
Mantis.
Mantis is right. King Leonidas came to a difficult pass in 480 B.C. Rockville.
Thermopylae.
That's right, yes. What integer is the cube root of 3? All right, Woodson.
9.
No, to the 9th power. 27 is the answer. 20 down. In English, no word begins with the consecutive letters GD, we hope, but these 2 consonants do begin the names of what Polish port city, Georgetown? Say again. Gdansk, the former Danzig. Radioactive decay occurs in all of these elements except which one? Platinum, uranium, Woodson?
Platinum.
That's right. Dr. Seuss is a writer of children's fiction. But who is the prolific Dr. A of science fiction?
Asimov.
Woodson. Isaac Asimov is right. In 1892, John L. Sullivan lost his heavyweight title, Rockville.
Corbett.
That's right, the gentleman Jim Corbett is right. In his 1858 debates with Lincoln, Stephen Douglas Rockville.
Little Giant with the Freeport Doctrine.
Freeport Doctrine is what we were looking for, is right. Now, choice. The embryonic root of the plant is known as, Rockville.
Radical.
The radical is right. Those who say you can't go home again must have been surprised, Georgetown Day, when Picasso's Guernica went home again to Spain. Guernica, we were looking for Guernica, I should say, 20 down. What is the arithmetic mean between the numbers -7 and +5, Rockville?
-1. -1.
Let me hear your answer.
-1.
That's right. Now, Calvin Coolidge was a graduate of what Massachusetts college? Woodson.
Harvard.
Amherst, Lord Jeffrey Amherst, so 20 down. Richard Corey, Miniver Cheevy, and Rockville.
Robinson.
Tilbury Town, created by Robinson, resided in what fictional town? 20 down. What ancient Roman went from his plow to the head?
Cincinnatus.
Cincinnatus, the Society of the Cincinnati named for him. Although the Parliament of 1660 restored King Charles to his throne, it refused to restore what sort of